Okay, before we go into the predictions for Week 7 and the recap for Week 6, we alluded to talking about the John Gruden situation. Now, Rich Bizicana, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, is now the interim head coach. If I can explain, I'm not going to go fully in depth with the whole situation, but basically what happened was, in 2011, John Gruden sent a very snarky email, and a very inappropriate email, to an NFL executive, after he had apologized multiple times. And according to what I read, the NFL executive who read the email, A, was not happy, but then forgave him and moved on. This was found out really more this past week, where the email was resurfaced because the NFL went and looked through the emails, were trying to find stuff on the Washington football team, ended up finding this email from John Gruden, in which John Gruden had apologized multiple times and decided to resign after the game against the Bears, which is unfortunate, because I'm not saying this behavior is warranted. It's not. But it's getting to the point of the statute of limitations is not there anymore. Like, it's gone. It's so far past that. And I'm not saying this behavior is good at all. It's not. It's disgusting. But it's the same thing with the woke media in which we live in, or the cancel culture, as they like to be called. It's not helpful in any way. We keep staying in this long loop of stuff. Like, I don't know if you watched this, but it was Joe Rogan was doing his podcast, in which he was talking to the doctor correspondent for CNN. And he basically, CNN said that Joe Rogan took horse medicine to cure COVID. And he's like, no, I didn't. I went to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed me these kinds of medicines to take, and within a week I was fine. But they made it sound like I was taking this, and I wasn't. And he explained to the doctor, this is what I took, and I feel better. Why you guys call it this? Why are you guys lying? And the doctor was like, whoa, we're going way too fast. So he had no response, and that's the thing. When people get caught in a lie, there's two things that happen. Either one, they create a bigger lie to cover that up, or they don't know what to say. This doctor didn't know what to say. So he's like, whoa, we're going way too fast. Your people said this. You're going to have to expect that since you said that, you're going to get, quote unquote, punched in the mouth. You're going to attack me, I'm attacking you right back. This is what happened. Like, when people go and say, well, the second player who attacked was worse than the first guy. No. To me, here's how I look at it. If you take a swing at me, I'm going to swing back. Why would I go and be like, nah, I'm good? I'm going to swing back. This is the same situation. CNN attacked Joe Rogan, tried to ruin him. Didn't matter, his following was going to go anyways with him. So if he attacked him, which he did, he attacked CNN, they didn't know what to do. The same thing goes for all these celebrities that this has happened to. They tried to do it to Clint Eastwood, which, if you've watched his latest movie on HBO Max, it's called Cry Macho, it was very good. I liked it a lot. They tried to cancel him. So we wouldn't do movies anymore. The guy is in his 90s. He's gonna get people to watch what he's doing. It's natural. And they tried to do the same thing with Terry Bradshaw. Makes no sense. It's all over the place. All I'm trying to say is the statute of limitations really, in the Gruden situation, if the woke media wasn't a thing, I'm not saying it would have been under the rug. I'm saying the situation would have been held and dealt with very differently. But back to football. As the Bucks beat the Eagles 28-22, it wasn't even that close. The Eagles don't have a run game. And when they do, because they can't, it's not like they can run the ball. They can. Obviously they can. But they can't. They just don't. And it's the unbelievable thing. I've never seen a team run the ball. Their first run, like they ran against the Cowboys one time. Their first run by an actual running back, second quarter, with like 2 minutes left to go in the quarter. It makes no sense. What is this play calling? That is the problem with the Eagles. They don't do enough. Jalen Hurts is running for his life. It's not going to help anyone if you can't keep him healthy. It's just not. Chiefs beat the Washington football team 31-13. Are the Chiefs back? No. Their defense was terrible. They ended up having to have a 21-point comeback. No. The two teams that the Chiefs have beaten in the last month, guess who those two teams were? The Eagles and the Washington football team. They beat the Eagles and the Washington football team. In both cases, you turn the ball over. You can't do that. You can't turn the ball over. You're not going to win a lot of games. That defense isn't good enough. So I still have a lot of concerns. Again, like you against Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team offense, which isn't very good. In my mind, and this is not a Cowboys fan, this is an NFL fan, they should not be scoring more than 7 points. And yet here they come and they score 13. And then the Eagles score 30 on you. They couldn't score really anything on any other team. And yet they scored 30 on you. The Cowboys beat the Patriots 35-29, in which, after the game in the post-game press conference, Dak ended up having a boot on because he ended up injuring his calf. He said, I landed funny, but it's more just, like, Dak is a free-spirited kind of person, and he's always lifting people's spirits up. It's like, it's his hidden talents. Amazing. He goes and says, well, I'm wearing it more like a fashion statement. I'm just trying to give you guys news or something to report about. Like, that's a great line. It cheered up the room a little bit. And, okay, now we can go on. Because that New England media is brutal, by the way. It's very brutal. So, the way he lifted up the room was a great thing. And it showed what kind of a person Dak Prescott is. But he said, no, I'm going to be fine. I wouldn't even be, as I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even practice this week. And that, if anything, they're just going to keep him throwing some footballs just to keep him from being rusty. Raiders beat the Broncos. This was Rich Bizicana, excuse me. First win as interim head coach. So, to win 34-24 against a division opponent, very good. Cards beat the Browns 37-14. No Cliff Kingsbury. He had COVID. Steve Kahn, the general manager, had COVID. Now, granted, the Browns were not at full strength. No Chubb, and no Nick Chubb, and end up losing Kareem Hunt to a calf injury. Baker Mayfield ended up leaving the game, coming back. Who knows if Hunt and Chubb will be ready for Thursday night. So we're 17-6, heading into week 7. We have the Broncos versus Browns. Browns are favored by 4.5. If Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt don't play, the Browns aren't winning this. They need them. Broncos defense is ferocious. Broncos are gonna win. Very close game. I imagine it'll be very close. Score is going to be 20-17. Chiefs vs Titans. Titans are getting +4.5. I see Titans pulling an upset here because I don't think the Chiefs are that good on defense. I mean, Tannehill hasn't been playing well, but I don't see the Chiefs playing good defense against Derrick Henry. I just don't see it happening. So I have the Titans. I don't know how close this game is going to be, but I know the Titans are probably going to win this. They're going to win. The score is going to be 31-28. Eagles versus Raiders. Raiders are favored by 3. Raiders are going to win. The Raiders can run the football. They got good passing offense. They're going to win. The Eagles can't stop anyone, and they can't run the ball. They choose not to run the ball, I should say. So Raiders are going to win. Score is going to be 21-17. Jets at Patriots. Patriots are favored by 7. Patriots have to win this game. The sad thing is, if you're the Patriots, the two teams that you've beaten, Jets, Texans, you face the Jets again. You have to win this game. If you win this, alarmingly will be the first win in Foxborough this year. That's like what? They've won in Foxborough like so many times in a row, and now they're trying just to win one game in Foxborough, and this is the game they should probably win. And finally, Bears versus Bucks. This is the Bucks are favored by 13. This is where Brady was saying, "Wait, it's 4th down." No, like that kind of the game that happened last year. Now Justin Fields takes over. Poor Justin Fields. He plays one Hall of Famer, or a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers. Then he gets to go play the next week a Hall of Famer, basically a future Hall of Famer in Tom Brady. And I said this to myself because I believe there's some guys that you just feel like when they retire, they're legit walking to Canton. They are pressing the jacket and they're just giving it to him. There's no reason to wait 5 years. And there's a few people that are like that, and I think Brady is like that. Rodgers is kind of much like that. He is like that. Excuse me. But I say the same thing with Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins. That when they're done and they retire, they will walk to Canton and they'll just get their jackets. And that will be it. I think in this game, the Bears and the Bucks will win huge, but I think the Bears will put up a fight in the beginning. The Bucks will win, score of 34-20.